I want to welcome you to get your day started today. I believe today is going to be a great day for you, a day of open doors, a day of divination, a day of speed, a day of enlargement, a day of increases. Your proposals are going to be accepted, doors are going to be opened for you, your heavens will open, help will come your way on every side, light will shine on your path today. There will be increases on every side. Men will come to you to favor you. Most of your projects will be executed today. You will enjoy speed today. Thank you so much for joining us on Get Your Day Started. Began a series, Capacity Development. For some of us who have not joined us on this platform, please do well to do that now. Send this link to your friends. I'm going to share with you capacity development. We started not quite long, telling you about what you can do to become the best version of yourself. Now we must get to know that our capacity is what determines our level of reach. I have had so many individuals and I've seen so many individuals by the virtue of my experience with helping people to develop themselves and actually become the best version of themselves, that so many people get to the peak of their life and they see that they couldn't do anything. So many of them are stressed. Some people are stressed out already, not being able to do anything about progress in life. They have tried to put in everything in place and it seems not working. I want to tell you that that's a symptom of capacity deficiency, and that's why we are establishing this platform since we started to help you develop your capacity. Now, our capacity is what determines our level of reach. You can't reach beyond what your capacity can carry. It is what determines our spread of impact. That's what determines your domain of control. It is what determines our extent of influence. It is what determines our speed and rate of growth. It is what determines the frequency of returns from our investment. It's the same thing that separates the small from the big. It's the same thing that separates the local from the global. It's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Your capacity. You cannot be greater than what your capacity can offer you. It's just like trying to put more water into a bottle that is already filled. If you don't have a large container, it will be difficult for you to put in more water. Some people have already gotten to the peak of wherever they are in academics. All you are using now is your residual energy that you have acquired over a long time, and because you are not acquiring new energy, you are trying to do more than you can do. Just like Samson was said about Samson, that he wanted to go as usual, not knowing that the Lord has left him. Just the same thing. If you don't have capacity, you just break down. You just be struggling. You just be putting more energy, yet nothing is happening. Yet you are not making any progress. Yet the income is not changing. Yet you are not getting promotion because you have exceeded your elastic limit. Capacity sets ceilings on any vision or any destiny. Have you seen where a person with a V4 engine moves faster than a V8 engine? That's the point of capacity. Now, as any of us observed before, that it's possible that a Micra vehicle overtakes a Sequoia vehicle. A Micra vehicle is like less than V4. But have you seen where a Micra vehicle overtakes a V8 engine, a V8 car like Sequoia? That is actually possible, and that's what really happening in life. You see people who are driving Micra who are making more impact, who are gaining more speed than people driving a Sequoia. Now, what is difference is the person inside those different cars. If somebody inside a Sequoia does not know how to drive, he won't gain speed like somebody inside a Micra car. Whereas somebody inside a Micra car can get to its destination faster than somebody who is driving a Sequoia. Have you never seen any individuals doing that? I've seen people, even people riding bike, who are taking over or who are overtaking people driving a very big car. What is the difference? Is the capacity of the person driving the vehicle. Is the capacity of the person driving the vehicle. Likewise, your body may have great vision, great insight, great destination, but the person inside driving your body can determine or can go a long way in determining how far your reach will be. That's why you must be ready to develop your capacity, not your ability alone. I will try to differentiate between capacity and capability. Have you seen people trying to run with great speed but stay in gear 1? Have you ever seen that before? Okay, maybe for a learner. Most of the learners don't know when to change the gear, especially when they are driving a manual gear. But have you ever seen what happens when somebody tries to drive a manual gear and is on gear 1 and is increasing his pressure on the accelerator? That's what so many people are doing. So many people are running through life with their handbrake on. Active handbrake on. But they are pressing the accelerator with great energy. The car is making a lot of noise, yet the gear, they are not engaging it. That's what so many of us are doing. We have less capacity. We are not engaging new level of capacity, yet we are increasing our activities. You will not be able to deliver. You will not be able to increase in productivity. And that's what happens. You can't move to the next level because what you have inside of you cannot meet up with the demands of the next level. And that's why if you do not have it, you cannot change the speed. Just the same way that somebody who doesn't engage the next gear, for example, you are driving, instead that you move from gear 1 to gear 2 or gear 3 or gear 4 as the case may be. If you don't change to the next gear, it will be possible for you to change to the next speed that is required for you to get to where you are going. That is the truth. If you keep driving your car at gear 1 with great speed, the engine will burst one of these days. And that is the thing. The engine will burst one of these. Have you seen where people are accepting their cars with their active brake on? That is it. You cannot keep increasing the height of a structure without a solid foundation. It will not go far before it crashes. Consider a bottle. What makes a bottle is the purpose and the design, but its size determines how much it can take. That is what happens to some of us. If your bottle is not large enough, it won't take a great volume. Yet the bottle is designed to contain water, but there is a limit to which it can contain. That is the same thing that happens between capacity and capability. Many of us have a lot of capability. We have ability to do so many things. We are skillful in so many things. I want to separate between capacity and capability concept. Now, capacity is the extent of your containment, how much you can contain. The development limit that you have, the expansion boundary that you have. But your capability is the extent of expression. That is how much problem, what kind of problem you can solve. What kind of problem you can solve. For example, maybe you can repair a car, or you can fix a phone. Now, you can fix it and fix it very well. But that is your ability. That is your capability. But how many phones can you fix within the same period? That is your capacity. You can sew a cloth for one person in a day. That is your ability. That is your capability. But how many clothes can you sew for a person in one day? If you can sew 10 clothes, that's your capacity. If you can sew 50 clothes in a day, that is your capacity. So you can't, your reach is measured by your level of capacity. And that's why everybody must develop a capacity to be better than where they are. One of the most profound laws in leadership is the law of lead. It is like a cap over a bottle. No matter what you have inside, the lead is a restriction. It is your cap over your ability. That's what I call capability. The cap over your ability. No matter how much you have inside of you, the cap over a bottle will never allow expression for that bottle because it is being capped. It is being bottled. Just the same way I say that most people should not go to university covering their head with their convocation cap, because outside the convocation cap is so many great things. So very, very important. It does not matter where you are or your field of endeavor. If you are a owner of a business, it sets limit on the number of branches you can create. If you are even a pastor over a church, it determines the number of people that comes to your church. If your capacity does not carry more than 100 people, if they increase to 101, that church will soon scatter, because you don't have the capacity to handle such number of attendance. This is very key, and every one of us must take our time to begin to look at how we can enhance our capacity. Yes, you have a lot of capability, you have skills in that area, you have skills in that area, you can make air, you can do a lot of things, but what is your extent? How many people can you impart with such gifts? How many destinies can you change with such gifts? Are you meant to be limited to 1,000 people? Can you increase it to 1 million people? It is a function of your capability. If your capability does not carry it, if your capability or your capacity cannot accommodate it, it will limit your destiny, it will limit your expression. Do you know so many people are frustrated today because they are not gaining progress? They are doing so much, but they are not moving very fast. They are engaging so much, but they are not making progress. It's because of their capacity. It's what they have inside of them. You can never be greater than what you have inside. Just like the example I gave you of a Micra engine and a Sequoia that are in a race. What determines, yes, the engine is great for a Sequoia, but it cannot reach its limit, its highest limit, because it doesn't have the capacity to drive, to move the body of the system, to drive the engine of the system. Whereas a Micra engine that is driven to the peak of its engine will be able to overtake a Sequoia that is not properly used, that is not properly engaged. So many of us, the kind of engine that is inside of us is like the engine of a caterpillar that can clear obstacles, that can clear encumbrances on our way. The kind of engine, the kind of greatness that's inside of us is a greatness that the whole world will feed from. Yet our family cannot even see the effect. Yet our community cannot even see the effect. Yet our church cannot even see the effect. Some of us are fighting for local opportunities, whereas the opportunity given to us are global opportunities. Some of us are fighting for microphone on a smaller stage, whereas the microphone available to us is a microphone on a global stage. People around you may not actually appreciate or recognize the deposit that is inside of you, but let me tell you this: many people around the world are hungry and starving for what is inside of you. So don't die with that capability inside of you when you have the ability to reach out to millions of people all across the world. Have you never seen some of the Nigerians who get out of this country after failing several times, and they get into outside the country and people begin to celebrate them? Wow, 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 wow. Whereas in their own country they did not recognize them. Whereas in their own country they do not identify what they carry inside. I want to tell you this: that is the function of developing the capacity that is inside of you to be a global phenomenon, not to be a local phenomenon. Many people die local when they are meant to end as a global entity. So I want you to begin to see a way. Let's look at a way. Let's go in this adventure together. How do I develop my capacity? How do I extend my reach? How do I meet the need of others? My vision is not a local vision. How do I move from where I am? How do I change gear from gear 1 to 2? How do I move from 2 to 3? How do I move from 3 to 4? How do I engage the 5th gear? There are some of us have you ever been into some places, some phones have capacity to do so many things, but individuals that are using it doesn't do anything more than use it to call. Yet he bought that phone 500,000. He bought that phone 1 million naira. But the best he has done with that phone is to use it to call. But the phone has capacity. That's GPS. He has a lot of things, capacity to do so many things that are unimaginable, but yet the user doesn't understand it. The user doesn't explore it. I think it's high time we begin to explore our life. There are so many things inside of you. There are so many things you can do. Look at somebody like Peter. Peter was a man who was very timid, was very shy, was very relegated, runs away from every even little child. But look at when Peter understood his capacity. The shadow of Peter alone, not his appearance. Peter that was running away from that ran away from a small child. His shadow alone was enough to heal the sick. People were looking for shadow of Peter, not Peter, because they know they won't be able to access Peter, but they can access his shadow because his shadow may not be restricted. They were looking for his shadow to get their healing. Why? Because Peter came to understand a timid Peter was able to develop, was able to enhance his own capacity by those things that he did. That's what we want to do during this series, and I want you to sit tight and enjoy a great time as we begin to explore this series. It's going to be a great time throughout this series. I want to thank you for joining us again today on Get Your Day Started. We'll look at those things we need to do to be able to enhance our capacity too. Thank you so much for joining us today on Get Your Day Started. My name is Kola Oledu. God bless you.